Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please kindly subscribe. I really appreciate it, and thank you guys for clicking on this video. So on today's video, I will be making a pleated skirt and I will be using this red checkered fabric. I will also be using my pens, my fabric scissors, my tape measure, and a pen which I later switched to a black marker. So firstly, I will lay my fabric nice and flat, and I will mark 2 cm from the edge of my fabric, which will be my zipper allowance. Then I will mark 7 cm along the length of my fabric, which is the width of each one of my pleats. And now I will repeat the whole process on the bottom edge of my fabric. Okay, so now I'm going to start creating my pleats, and I will start creating my pleats from my 7 cm point and not the 2 cm point. So I will take my first 7 cm point and I will lay it on top of my third 7 cm point to create one full pleat, as you can see me doing. One piece of fabric wasn't enough to cover my waist circumference, so I will repeat the whole process of marking and creating pleats on this piece of fabric, and I will use both fabrics to cover my waist circumference. So I went ahead and pressed my pleats off camera, and I don't know if you guys will be able to notice this, but I reduced the size of my pleats to 5 cm because the 7 cm was too wide for me. So now I have my tape measure and my marker, and I will measure and mark 10 centimeters from the top of every pleat. So now I'm sewing close to the edge of every pleat, and I will sew down to the 10 centimeter point that I just marked. I'm just cutting a smaller piece of the fabric, and I will stitch this piece of the fabric to the other piece so that it can cover my waist circumference. I am sewing the smaller section of the fabric that I just cut, and I will baste one side to prep it for inserting the zipper. Here I have a small piece of fabric, and I am measuring and cutting half my waist circumference with one side unfold, and also measure and cut the fabric to my desired width to create my waistband. I am just cutting out the frayed edges of my skirt to make it look more neat, and what I'm showing you now is the side that I basted earlier where I will sew my zipper at. Here I have my waistband already pressed, and I will pin the waistband to the skirt on one side first with right sides to right sides. Before I sew the other side of the waistband, I will first pin the zipper to the skirt as you can see me doing, and I will pin my zipper starting from the folded edge of the waistband. As you can see, I already read the basting stitch where I pinned my zipper, so now I'm just changing my sewing foot into my zipper foot, and I will sew my zipper close to the zipper teeth. I don't know if you guys can tell from the video, but I sewed my zipper slanted from the edge of the fabric, and that is because when I sew it straight to the edge, it does not hold my waist, it leaves some gaps at the back, so I had to sew it slanted so that it holds my waist nicely. So at this point I realized that after I basted my zipper area, I forgot to set my machine back to normal, which means I have been basting all along. So now I will have to set my machine back to normal and sew on top of all the stitches that I did after basting the zipper area. Now I will sew the zipper at the waistband, and I will notch the corner so that I can turn the waistband nicely. So this is how the skirt looks so far. It's neat on the outside and a mess on the inside. So now I will fold in the inside of my waistband to conceal the waist seam and to make the inside of the skirt look more neat, and I will do this all around the inside of the waistband. I want to try to sew the waistband with the stitch in a ditch method and see how that works out. stitching this method did not work out for me, so I'm ripping out the seam I just made and return the waistband and sew it closed from the inside. Sewing the waistband from the inside worked out for me because the thread I used blended so well with the fabric and I couldn't even see it from the outside. I don't know if you guys were able to see, but the waistband was all curled up at the top, so I will iron it so that it can be nice and flat and not curled. As you can see, the length of the skirt is not even, so I will trim out the longer section of the skirt to even out the length. Now I'm double folding and pinning the hem of my skirt all around. Now that I'm done pinning, I am sewing the hem of my skirt with a white zigzag stitch. I just love how a zigzag stitch looks at the hem area. After I was done sewing, I went ahead and pressed my skirt, but the pleats were not laying nicely, so I had to remove the double fold at the hem, then folded the hem once and sewed it again with the zigzag stitch. skirt is the only thing in my channel that I have made before. I made the first one around July or August before I started my YouTube channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell icon down below so that you get notified whenever I post new content.